on the Kibbe somewhere on this little dude, and tack welds made. There she is. We look at the highs and the lows of building a Season 2 correct hero car. Okay, so you can see behind me, we've got the helmets taped up, got both of them sprayed now, or got the 01 sprayed on them. And what we did, so I took our photo here, laid up here, and just got me an idea of where the outline would be. Then I come back, I just throw paper around that outline. We'll do this just like we did the 01. I'll cut all of this out. And then we'll just come back and trace around this edge and transfer an outline to right here. We'll cut that out and then spray this whole entire thing with a light coat of white. And that'll serve two purposes. It'll make our red cover a whole lot better, and our blue as well. So then we'll come back, we'll just tape off everything that's white in this photo, and then probably spray the blue. Come back, overlay the blue with tape, spray the red, and untape it all. Come back, pinstripe the black. Boom, we're done. So let's get started. Okay, so we've got just a little bit of rub or dust on the back of it. You can even use a pencil lead. Just shade it with a pencil and get the same effect. Already got it pretty much where I want it. Lines up with my snout, mirror side. So we've got both of them cut out. Went back and put some tape over button on each one on this side. I had it open so I could actually use it for a reference point. You look at them real close, and I can see just a minute amount of difference in them. For whatever reason, this one didn't line up just exactly as well as that one did, and had to improvise a little bit. But any of this can be done. My main thing is a high school kid or a kid in general wants to dress up their third bike building or something like that. You don't have to have this design. Any design that you can pull, you can copy. You can do this with a spray can. You don't have to have any fancy tools to do it with. You can just some tape, some basic masking tape. You use newspapers. You don't have to have a lot of high-end, and pretty much everybody has access to a printer now. So all you got to do is zoom it in the size you kind of think you want, and trace it out on here, and plan out your steps. We're going to do a white, take off our white, then do our blue, take off our blue, and then do our red, and then we'll untape all of it, and it'll be finished. So, and you can do the same thing where I put a base mixing clear over this to keep from damaging the orange. You could spray can light clear on it, come back the next day and lightly scuff it up and keep adding your layers to it. So we'll go get our white, come back, put our white base coat on it, move on to our next step. Okay, so here's what we run into on the firewall. My firewall I built came out just a tad past this arch, and it was rubbing maybe by 1/8 of an inch. So I either misfigured 1/8 to 1/4 inch off by the time the hood shut and everything was figured. So what we did, you can see it real good right here, is we came in and took a section out. You can see how high this is compared to how high that is. Just remove the section all the way across, kind of create a cowl induction effect for the firewall. Our firewall is out just like I said, 1/8 or 1/4 further than the ones that we've seen in the magazine, roughly because we hid the heater hoses, because they didn't run heater hoses, and they had I think it was a factory air car. So the firewalls are different in a factory air car than they are in just a no AC car. So that's what we had to do on the hood to get that to work. But you could easily have moved that firewall back 1/4 of an inch and it'd fit fine. No problems at all. So next time I build one, if there's no heat or AC going to be run to it at all, then we can just build it a little shallower or not worry about it and make this modification here. So it's one of those top secret modifications that nobody probably will ever see, except for those of you who have seen the thing. And this is satin black, and we just burn it in. I did right here along this edge, right through here. Oh no, right through here. And up through there, and then back around through there, and blends in great. So that's the 411 on that. Alright, so it's been a couple hours. We've come back, covered up the white with some masking tape, cut out the bars and stripes, and taped the corners down on here. Of course, we took a flat piece of paper and we're trying to wrap it around a basketball, so it's not going to be perfect. What we will do now is simply peel that off like that. We'll cut that out. Let's see if I can get a little closer look. Yeah, we'll cut that out, and then before I cut it out, we'll place our stars. And what I'll do on the stars is you can see real close. I didn't put those stars in that white stripe. That's the way they were on the helmet. This is an actual, these here are sunspots, or glare. And none of the stars were exactly perfect. So what we'll do is we'll come back and mark the corners and then draw them out by hand. So I know roughly all of these are 1/8 of an inch. So I pull that back here and see it. There's the one I just did. We'll just keep following suit. So we just use this fine line to help as a guide. So you can draw nice, fairly smooth straight lines, or cut fairly smooth straight lines. And so that's what you'll have when you get finished. a not so symmetrical flag. Now I'm going to repeat every bit of that onto that one, and then we'll go to spraying the blue. Alright, we've got both of them done up, and time for the blue. Okay, almost forgot to film this part. So we've got this done. What you do is you just go back and have to lay some fine line on it. Make sure everything's dry. A little right here. There. Turn the fan off. There we go. You can probably hear me now too. Alright, look at that. Put this one down here. And there you go. This is still a little bit damp. It's really not tacked off enough to be doing what I'm doing, but it's going to have to work. I will admit this. I think I may get it too low. But I'm not using a Mac brush, and sharpen brush, so it doesn't look like they use one down here. Putting it on unreduced. I think that's probably perfect and imperfect enough to pass. Alright, so we'll go do one more and come back in the morning, scuff around on it a little bit, shoot some flat clear on it if I don't decide to do it tonight, and there you go. So the helmet saga, continues. Come back this morning, just walked off from last night. I didn't like the darker red, really on brown. I'll come back in here real quick. Lightened up my base a little bit. And touch this up. That just seemed to really, it's more like a flag, like what they had there. The blue might be a little dark, but I kind of like it. I've seen them where they're darker. So we're just going to come in and touch all these up a little bit, and then go back and put some clear on all of them. All I'm doing is taking some 1/8" fine line and just loosely running around the edges. These didn't have to be super perfect because close-up photo, you can see they weren't super perfect whenever they were on the show. And there's a point where you get so wrapped up trying to make everything just like it was that this sort of stuff kind of gets to where it's not fun. But we're reeling that in, I guess you can say. I'm gonna quit working, or quit talking. get back to work. And there we go. Started on the second helmet. You see how to do it. We'll come back here in a little bit, spray all this down with some semi-gloss clear. We should have a good effect. That's no problem. I'll come back and test that out too. So, not a big deal. Alrighty. Okay, so we're putting the vinyl top moldings on the Kibbe, and I did not film myself drilling all of these holes or doing the measurements until I was absolutely certain that they were correct. So I'll show you what we've done. I did not come up with this. I actually got this off of the, what was it, the Dodge Charger forum. That is a great forum if you're a Dodge Charger owner, and unfortunately you have to drill these holes in nice paint. So I got these measurements from 69 RT, and he had posted them back. Oh man, I don't know when he posted these. This is a pretty old post in '09, but he posted all of these measurements, and you come off 1.5 inches, and I'm sorry about this not wanting to. There, it focused. Come off 1.5 inches from this window edge, not this, but this window edge in here. All right, 1.5 inches. That's where you make your first mark, and don't do any drilling until after you double and triple checked everything. Then 5 1/4 from the edge of the quarter panel up, and that should be where the bottom of your molding goes. From this center mark, go 8 1/2 to your first center mark, then 8 3/4, then 8 3/4 again, and then 8 3/4 for a final time. Okay, these will be 1/4 inch holes. And what I done is, after I kind of had laid out where everything was supposed to be, I laid the molding up here and made sure that, made a trace of it, made sure everything was going to line up, and then I come back and I went halfway centered in between this, and that's how I got my center for my bolt holes, or for my clip holes in this case. Now, on the J molding, or whatever charger people call it, I'm not a charger guy. What his measurements told on that was from the back of this tray here. You go 3 1/8, and that will be your center, and then it is 5/16 from the edge up. So drill your hole there. Then from that mark, it is, I think it's, let me double check because I don't have it written down. It is 7 1/2. So from let's just measure it from the first hole. Okay, yeah. From your first hole, 3 1/8 from this edge. Make your first mark. 7 1/2 from that first mark to the next hole, and then 7 1/2 again to your final hole up here near the window. It's 5/16 off of this edge, and that should be your center mark. And what I did, all them, I just drilled like a 16th hole, 1/8 inch hole, pilot hole, And then the sad story is this car actually was a vinyl top car. Somebody had welded the holes up in a very poor fashion. And we'll come over here. You can see this one is on. And what I like to do, this is a, where did I throw the box? Again, I like to use that stuff, 3M window weld ribbon sealer. This is what you use to put a window in with. You can take this stuff and roll it up very small. You don't need a whole lot, maybe 1/8 of an inch or so. And where your hole is, come back over here, where your hole is, once you get these touched up, touch them up with paint. Doesn't matter if they match the car or not. Just make sure that you get some kind of paint on there to keep it from rusting. Just put you a little bit of that around the edge, kind of about the size of a Cheerio, so that seals that hole up whenever you mash that in there. And I've done the same thing on these, or I did on the other one. And then if you put too much of it on and it squishes out the side, just simply take a razor and cut it. And this stuff is just like bubble gum. You take it and you start dabbing it and sticking it to it and pulling it off, and you will pull the loose off of it. You can see I've got it on my fingers. And that is how we do the moldings. I guess I can zoom out, that would help things. So let's put the camera up, and I'll let you watch me put this side in. Up where you can see, if you can actually see what I'm doing. Okay. What I'm going to do is put just a little touch up, some paint we used before. You have to come back in a little while, let that dry, and then come back and finish up. But it's pretty much so hot here and humid that that hole there is pretty much already dry. Okay, just got this one slid into place, and see if I can get the camera over here in a, you can see that little bit of black that is protruding out there is what I was telling you about earlier. And simply just take some ribbon, little wad, and get the camera here? There it is. See? There it is. Where's the other one at? Just like that. And we'll repeat that for the others. Check. Then all I gotta do is crawl up in the trunk and put everything on. Well, everything's finished. We've finished our last interview with Robert Kibbe. That's aired on the Muscle Car Place. We've probably done our last interview on Kibbe and Friends. You never can tell about that. We may be back on there sometime. Robert's come and got the car. It's gone. It's in Iowa. Doing all kinds of cool stuff with it right now. I'd like to thank y'all for watching and staying tuned, seeing everything that we've done and how we've done it to the Kibbe Lee. By the time you're watching this, we've started selling the push bars. Hopefully our website will be up and running by the time you watch this, and you can go through there and look at some of our shirts and other items we've got for sale along with the push bar. But stay tuned with us, because we've got a lot more really cool stuff coming. If you like the Fall Guy truck, we'll have some footage coming here for long of going and getting some of the key components to build a Fall Guy truck, and we'll probably touch on some of the different variations of the truck throughout the series. And there's another Dukes of Hazzard car that we've been kind of watching in the background, and we may do a clone of it. We've got a lot more stuff coming, TV clones, maybe even a stunt car hopefully someday. And just hit that subscribe button and stay tuned, and hopefully you learned something and had a good time. Appreciate it. I gotta get to work.